Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. We had some nice chats there in the full replay. If you missed it, I always trim these episodes to give you the main event so it sticks around later so you guys hopefully find it, but also to hopefully entice you to join us every day, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, as we build this community, not just with Brian Laundrie stories, but a lot of other news and coverage with my amazing friends like Steph the Alter Nerd, who are here, as well as all the experts we bring, etc. So thanks to all of you who joined live. You can always catch us 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's Florida time or New York Central Time, not Central, New York time. That's when we start. I know a lot of you are watching from different time zones, so thanks for finding us, learning what time we start. 12 o'clock Andy time. I'm just me. Sometimes it's a few minutes late, so bear with me, but we are here every day around 12. But today we're starting our main event of our news now that we got some community stuff out of the way. And thanks to this brilliant, amazing community, all you guys who've subscribed and supported and joined. You guys are incredible. Had some amazing chats yesterday on the show, and we'll have some more today. But the main event today is this. We have two topics I want to get through, and I want to discuss with you guys in the chat. Brian's mom's friend, I feel like it's like Spaceballs. Brian's mom's friend has now defended the Dirty Laundries. Okay? And so I want to get into this because I've seen this start to really pick up around the internet. Brittany Ann Coleman, allegedly, again, seems like this is real. So I want to be very clear at the gate. I haven't confirmed who this person is, but there's a lot of posts that are starting to circulate, and a lot of outlets are picking this story up from a Facebook account. And if anybody can I've been trying to find the actual Facebook account. If anybody has, she has locked up her Facebook. Okay, got it. Alicia is in there. Thank you, Alicia. I may come back to your DMs to confirm. She's been doing some digging for me, but Alicia, if you're watching, sorry, it's Alicia, right? Alicia, if you're watching, that's mom. Okay, good. This is Brittany. Her mom, Martha, also posted something. They're from New York. Okay, and hold on, it's gathering information. Okay, yes, and so that
awesome.
They were public, but now they've gone private. Okay, but a lot of the screenshots have now existed based on everything they were. But anyway, this was the gist. So Brittany Ann Coleman, who's this woman here, worked with Roberta, Brian's mom, at Suffolk County. Brittany will die on the hill she stands on that Gabby Petito was a horrible person who abused Brian. It seems Roberta hated Gabby and wanted Brian Laundrie to marry Brittany. Berta made this poncho for her. Okay, so now I've gone through and I found, here's the more articles sort of linking this issue. Apparently the rumors here, according to this, is that she wanted her mother, this woman, Brittany's mother and Brittany were friends of Roberta, the mother. And I've posted some Facebook posts here. They're kind of long, but I want to go through them because, look, if these are real, it offers another insight as to, friends of the Laundries, which we always say, well, who's defending them? What could the other side be? So I want us to open our mind. This is going to be a hard read. I want to warn you in advance. This may be a hard read because they are not going to be kind to Gabby. So take it as you will. I will share my thoughts at the end of this, but I do want to hear from the other side of things. And so this is a potential other side of things. You follow me, Steph? Everyone on the same page so far?
Yeah.
So here we go on sort of Brittany's post. A lot of people have told me to delete my post or make my account private and hide myself from the world, but I'm hoping the more time and energy everyone spends harassing me will take that time away from them being hurtful to other people. This world is filled with ugliness, and if I can absorb some of it and and spare someone else, I will. This was an edit she clearly posted later. To those who are thanking me for trying to expose the unjust biased for profit media and to try and stand up against people harshly judging one another as if they know nothing that has happened between these two people, thank you for keeping your heart and mind open. God bless you, I assume what that meant. P.S. Mental health issues are nothing to joke about. Countless people are killing themselves and countless others are hurting and killing each other because the issues are not addressed or taken seriously, and there's still a stigma that make people afraid or embarrassed to get the help they desperately need. Stop perpetuating the stigma and promote taking care of your mental health and setting healthy boundaries. I mean, I agree with this point here, but we'll see how that's connected to what's going to happen. So here's what she said. A tragedy like this could have been avoided. Mocking and spewing unproductive, hateful things doesn't help anyone in any way. It's self-serving that you have convinced yourself it is serving some sort of justice without any regards to who it's hurting or helping. It's hard, too, because I know Brian, and he's really nice, and his mother is an absolute gem. I worked with Roberta. She crocheted me a poncho. She's given me so much advice throughout my time working with her, and we've remained close friends since then. And it breaks my heart to see two families going through such horrible things, and the entire world is gawking and throwing their 2 cents in and making fun of them like we're in elementary school. And nobody taught each other to be kind to one another. I think hardest thing is all the people acting like they know what happened before any information got out and talking horrible things about Brian and his family. There was another murder not far from there around the same time, but there was no big press on it. What I do believe is that Gabby has a laundry list of mental health issues, financial irresponsibilities, and other issues, and Brian and his family have been so supportive through the years. She lived in their home rent-free, both with their sister of Brian and with the parents at different times. I spoke with Roberta at length about some of the situations that had occurred in the house while they were all living together. It did not sound easy. The fact that people are saying Brian stole her van and used her card when I know he poured in so much of his savings for her to live her dream and to try and make her happy is heartbreaking. He's being treated like the scum of the earth, and how his parents are being treated like the parents of the scum of the earth because they're trying to do the right thing and protect him, and anyone who thinks they wouldn't do whatever they could for their child doesn't deserve children. The truth may never come out, the whole truth, and even if Gabby was murdered by someone else, if it turns out it was an accident or self-inflicted, Brian and his family will forever be hated, and even if he's completely proven without a doubt not to be the one responsible for her death, even if he's proven to not be responsible for death, half the world thinks they know what happened based on a few news articles. That's scary. So that's the Brittany piece. Now, her mom, allegedly, right here, again, speculation, because this, from what I've told, these seem real, but again, this could be fan fiction. But from what I've gathered from people who've been out there, these were real posts on Facebook by people seemingly connected to Roberta. My daughter, now this is from the mother. My daughter has been friends with Roberta and the Laundrie family since she and Roberta worked together for Suffolk County. Now this is Brittany's mom. You follow me, Steph? Mm-hmm. They remained friends after the Laundries moved down to Florida years ago. Roberta adored my daughter so much. She wanted my daughter and Brian to get together. My daughter felt he was just too young for her, as she was around 19 when she was turning 30. Life went on. Eventually, Roberta began expressing to my daughter that there were just too many problems with Gabby. Not having gainful employment, sleeping all day, drinking, smoking herb, not being grateful for meals, not helping around the house, etc. My daughter tried being supportive of Roberta, working on having patience and understanding with Gabby. Roberta seemed relieved for a little break when they began their van life adventure this past June. Clearly something went sourly wrong along the way. If anything, I've learned not to jump on any bandwagons until the truth is revealed. We truly do not know anything yet. Roberta has not corresponded back to any of my daughter's texts or messages. I hope that the truth reveals itself sooner than later, but no, there's always more to the story than what the media reports. It's really a tragedy. I'm shocked by the entire story, but more shocked that this is the same family my daughter thought the world of, and now this. None of us, including the speculative media, can really feel any way about it until the truth finally comes out, and it always does. And then there was another follow-up here from her where she goes, it makes me feel pretty bad that people have nothing better to do than jump on the bandwagon and say hurtful things to people who are closer to the damage than they will ever be. Seems like some weird phenomenon that I'm just kind of letting go of instead of deleting my post because I already know the world is an ugly place and I'd rather people waste the time and energy harassing me. We saw that harder than being hurt by the words of strangers. I was bullied a good portion of my life. People think they knew me from a few excerpts. I can't imagine what the families of Gabby and Brian must be going through with all these people who feel it necessary to spread war and not peace. I'll take the heat if that means somebody else is spared. She keeps saying that over and over again. To those of you who are giving me support for trying to explain that there's always more to the story and ask that people don't jump on my defense or the offense based on a few things they read on the internet, God bless you and thank you for keeping an open mind and having huge hearts. So that's the summary there. Now, when I read it, again, this could be fake. Who knows? Maybe she's making it up. Possibly. It's everything I read there feels pretty legit, Steph. I don't know about you, but that does feel like someone who would be a close friend of the family might try to speak up and then quickly privatize when they realize the backlash they're going to get for saying things of Gabby. So whether I'm not saying I agree, but just overall, the realness of this, Steph, do you concur that these could be legit?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I'm not saying they're. I'm just saying. Do they feel like someone who have known them?
Could just be a troll account. We've seen them. I mean, we thought that. Well, I thought, let's say, that Brian Laundrie Facebook account was real until proven otherwise. So, is there a possibility? Yes. Am I truly convinced? No. However, the content of these posts are extremely disturbing because why would you gaslight the victim?
Mm-hmm.
Why so disgusting? Like, if, you know, if you're going to defend the Laundries, fine. But there's a better way of defending them than gaslighting the victim who's died. It's so bizarre and so disturbing that they're doing that. Never mind who it really is. For someone to write that stuff in the first place, for me, is the more the bit that should be more focused on. It's just disgusting. Why would you gaslight a victim like that? I don't get it. What? And then, like, look, right? People are vilifying the Laundries in different ways, right? But the main problem that I would say that everyone has an issue with when it comes to the Laundries is that they're not helping, right? They even said right off the bat, we are staying in the background. We ain't helping. Good luck to you, but we're out, right? They were like, we're not going to let Brian talk to police when Brian was around. We're refusing that. We're refusing access. We ain't helping. Yeah? So you can try and defend the Laundries all you want by saying, look, they don't deserve all this negativity, this, that, and the other. And to a certain extent, actually, when you think about it on balance, yeah, there's some aspects that they don't deserve. Like, you know, the people going onto their property and invading and the protesting on their property and all that lot. Fine, okay, there is a certain kind of line that's being crossed there, even I'll agree with that. But you cannot say, oh, they don't deserve all this negativity and hate, when, damn it, through their own non-action, they've brought it on themselves. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it frustrates me. The more I read it, the more I think about it, it frustrates me. It's like, guys, are you freaking blinded? It's wow. I mean, if they are friends of the Laundries, I appreciate and applaud their loyalty.
Yeah. Well said.
You know,
I was gonna say that too.
I'm loyal myself, you know? So when I recognize loyalty, whether it's misguided or not, I'll still applaud it. I'm like, fair play to you guys. But
yeah, it's a weird look here as she gets into, I mean, well, the mother does it more so. The mother gets even more so of it all, but and maybe the mother is defending Brittany, who's now obviously, this was posted in September. And again, guys, I'm looking around, like there's a lot of images that sort of confirm this. Like if people, a lot of people have sent me the screenshots of these accounts that are now private. Okay. So again, are they real? I guess they could be fake. It just, to me, this reads real. And only people who've been sending me, I don't want to call anyone out, have said the same thing. I'm just like, this, the victim blaming, you know, it just reads true to me. It reads relatable of like, when the mother talks about like, I want to go back to that one first here. When the mother goes in about like Gabby, which to me really bothered me, and I figured was going to bother a lot of you. And that's why I wanted to defend Gabby here. But it's like, she goes about how not having gainful employment. She was young. Like, hello, she was young. She's a kid still. She's totally a kid. It's like, I can tell you 1,000,000 20-year-olds who still don't know what to do with their life and are still trying to figure this shit out. It's very commonplace, especially in this latest generation. So to complain about that is something, you know, an annoyed parent can do, but you love them and you try to support them. You don't complain about it. You know what I mean? Gainful employment. I mean, Jesus Christ, gainful employment. Adults don't even have that yet. It's like some of them. So it's just offensive to me. Sleeping all day. I know she was working here and there, and so what? So she sleeps, drinking, okay. She's young, smoking pot, not illegal, so what? Not being grateful for meals. I'd love to hear her side of it, you know, like Gabby's side of it. It sounds like this was just a pain in the ass, over-authoritative step-parent who's not really supportive. You know what I mean? It's how this all reads to me. Not helping around the house, etc. So it's like, this, to me, if anything, this plays Roberta as kind of a jerk. as kind of a tough one to live with, who wasn't really treating Gabby as her daughter. You know, it's just sort of an annoyed way that she's there and anything. I don't think this helps the Laundries look good either. This friend's coming out airing this dirty laundry about the dirty laundries in a way where, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, damn, Gabby was sleeping all day and she was drinking at 20s, in her early 20s, and smoking pot. Oh my God, what a, like, who's going to read this and think this? You know what I mean? It's like, it only, to me, paints another picture that clearly Gabby and the parents didn't get along. And that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. You know what I mean, Steph? And welcome, Lewis, as well.
Hey.
Hey up, mate.
It's very easy for
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's very easy when you have your child dating someone young, and more often than not, those young relationships don't last. Let's be honest. You go through a few relationships in your lifetime, and yeah, your parents don't always agree with your first love. It's a thing, especially when they're living in the house, especially if they want to just be lazy. That's what kids do. To say that out loud after she's been murdered, and sort of use it, as you said, like victim blaming, like to blame her in sort of a justification as to, well, she didn't clean up after herself. She didn't say thank you for meals. I'm just like, oh my God, these people are awful. It makes me even more upset at the Laundries, and explains why we are so frustrated with them, that even the friends coming out in their defense are like, well, yeah, Gabby was a bitch. It's like, excuse me? That's not what you say right now. Now that's where I get frustrated with the mom, because if this is really the mom, I think she's out of bounds. This is ridiculous. And then revealing that my daughter was who Brian was supposed to be with. Well, you know what? Really? It's really Martha? Seriously, Martha, that's crazy. You really, at this point, after all that's been done, after watching those tapes, you want Brian was who you wanted your daughter to be with? That's crazy to me. Beyond stepping back from that a second, I think Brittany says some things in here that I agree with. We have to be better and not judge people as a society. And I appreciate some of the ways she comes out to sort of defend the person that she knew. And as you said, Steph, I appreciate the loyalty. I think it's good when you're under fire that someone be in your court to at least say, look, let's hear all sides. You know what I mean? Like, that's important, especially if you're close to them. So good on that. Like, her mother's an absolute gem, etc. Like, good. It's nice to hear someone say, look, these parents aren't monsters. And I'm sure there are people who feel that way. We should remember that. They are human beings. So I applaud that part of the message here, right? But Gabby has a laundry list of mental health issues, financial responsibilities, and other issues Brian have been so supportive through the years. She lived in their home rent-free. This defense, in a way, of almost like, well, stop being so mean just because she died. She was a pain in the ass to live with, is not the right time, in my opinion. It doesn't come off helpful in a way. Do you know what I mean, Steph? To me, that reads...
Andy, it's never the right time, because think about it this way, right? They are attacking someone that cannot defend themselves anymore because they're not here. It's the same thing as the Leaving Neverland documentary. You know, though I'm not even going to name them, those two people. All right, you can do the research if you want. I don't want to give them any publicity because that's essentially what they want, right?
Right.
But those two gentlemen, let's say, were publicly attacking someone who can't defend themselves anymore because, you know, Michael Jackson's not here anymore, but B, in a court of law, he was acquitted. He was found innocent. You know, so, you know, attacking someone who's not here on this earth anymore, I just think is a very, very low form. Yeah. Very, very low form. You know, when they can't defend themselves anymore, and especially here, attacking someone who's a victim, who died because of strangulation, yeah? Maybe she had issues, right? Maybe she was a pain in the backside, yeah? But what has that got to do with anything? She's still the victim. You should respect her as the victim, not attack her like this. You want to defend the Laundries, fine, defend them. But don't defend them by attacking the victim. How the hell in this world does that ever make sense? It doesn't. And these two people, whoever they are, whether it's real or not, should be freaking ashamed of themselves and hang their heads in shame. Because this is disgusting and outright moronic at the end of the day. Because if they thought that by defending the laundries by attacking the victim was a super great idea, then they could probably count their brain cells on one hand here, because bloody hell, that's just insane, insanely stupid and moronic.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson, I think, is innocent. It's a whole nother separate topic, but don't judge me. Do the homework is what I always say, because some people have been misinformed, just as the media does. But yeah, you make a good point connecting it to that. When someone's dead and they can't defend themselves, you don't come out and start attacking them unless you really have some evidence to really scope. Because to go and defend to make the defense be, she was dirty and didn't clean up after herself and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I saw the video of that van. And we have on record that she was constantly screaming at him for not cleaning up said van. So you're going to tell me she was the dirty one? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Don't buy it for a second. That I just don't. I believe he was the one who was always throwing crap in that back. We have evidence of that. So it's frustrating to see these people come out, and so they're out there sort of trying to defend the Laundries, and in order to defend the Laundries, they're going to bash Gabby? Like, that's such a bad look. Like, what an awful thing to do. It only reiterates why we're so frustrated at the Laundries. They have the worst optics of any person I've ever met in the midst of a media storm like this, which no one ever knows how to navigate. Let's be fair. I can't even imagine what it's like for them with the amount of scrutiny that they're facing on being under such a microscope. This case is insane. It's longer than most of these cases would ever be. I don't wish that on anybody, even my worst enemy. I really don't. I've been a version of this, and it's awful. So I don't want to imply that they aren't suffering and aren't going through stuff. They're paying it right now, guys. I promise. They're paying in ways you don't really understand yet, but they are, and they're going to be paying more. But all that said, to come out and defend after all your silence, after this family, the Petitos, have been trying to figure out what the hell happened, after all the silence, your defense is, well, she was a bitch, is basically what they're saying, Steph. It's insane. Yep. Lewis, I want to get your thoughts on this before we keep jumping around, because you entered. What's up? Welcome, Dan. What are your thoughts?
Good morning or good afternoon, Stefania. I guess I'm interviewing you later, right, on my channel?
Yeah.
Better, all right? Andy, you're invited. Everyone here is invited. I'm going to talk to... That's besides the point. But I came into this in the middle, but this reads like a spoof, man. I mean, it really... Who looks bad here? I mean, the Laundries look worse. I don't know who would think this is a good defense. I couldn't think of a worse thing to do to make the Laundries look worse, right? So we're very weird. Like I told you, Andy, earlier, this couple looked like they were younger than what their actual age was after watching the video with the police. So what I think of it, since I don't know anyone who's that evil and that stupid, I'm going to say it's a spoof account. But then again, anything's possible. I don't relate to people like this who would defend or like try to put down a victim like this. So that's the way I look at it. There's no excuse to what happened, really. So
the other thing as well that kind of stuck out for me, we a lot of this, guys, when you really read between the lines and you think about it, a lot of this shiz can be debunked, really, because they say in one of the posts, right, Brian used pretty much all of his life savings so that Gabby could go on her dream trip, this, that, and the other, and she never financially contributed this, that, and the other. But then also references, there was nothing wrong with him using the card situation because he paid for the trip. He contributed to those funds as well. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's BS. No, at the end of the day, that card was not his. It was not his account.
It was hers.
Was Gabby's account at the end of the day. So you cannot equate the rationale of, well, he funded pretty much everything. He contributed to the whole of Gabby's finances, this, that, and the other, and justify that as the reason why it was okay for him to use over $1,000 money out of Gabby's account and not his. If he had all this money and all these savings, this, that, and the other, why didn't he use his own account?
No, wasn't there a line here where this person, again, I came in the middle, Stefania, maybe you could help me, sure. And everyone in the comments, sorry, I apologize, but it said that all she did was drink. Didn't they specifically say during the police stoppage that they did not drink. I've
Correct.
specifically heard that like 10 times, which was kind of like virtue signaling, because it's like, I don't drink, I'm clean. It's like, dude, but when the police aren't around, you're hitting people. You know, you're drinking bad, hitting a girlfriend good. What you get what I'm saying here, Stefania?
Oh yeah.
He's trying to be like, look how holy I am, I don't drink. But meanwhile, you're doing things that are way worse. Guess what? A little drink is not a bad thing.
Right.
Right? He's trying to make it seem like I'm so clean, I'm so holy. Get the F out of here, bro. You know?
Well, this is the other, you know, so like I said, there's so many parts of this that can be debunked, and you've just debunked another one right there.
Yeah.
There's quite obvious, you know, turning around and they're saying, oh, you know, she's a drinker, this, that, and the other. Yeah, from Gabby's gob herself on the body cam footage, she's like, no, I don't drink, just drink water, that's it, you know.
That's what she was saying several times.
Yeah, she said that several times, right? That she doesn't drink alcohol.
I do believe she smoked weed because that's organic.
Yeah.
That's natural. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. But yeah, you're totally right about the drinking.
But even if she does drink alcohol, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. Did drink alcohol. Apologies.
Moderation's fine.
Well, I'm sorry, but why are you demonizing a female victim for drinking alcohol and smoking pot? It's kind of like the same rationale as, let's say, someone assaulting a female, let's say in the kind of, how do I put this, YouTube friendly, bedroom kind of assault, intimate assaulting. Let's put it that way, guys. Yeah?
I don't know if that's going to help YouTube.
Screwball knows, but we're going to say intimate assaulting here.
Try not to say the second word over and over again.
So something similar that, you know.
But you heard her the first time. All right. Yeah, what Steph said.
But the perpetrator turns around and says, well, she was asking for it because the way
role
she was
play.
dressed.
Or are you talking role play
it's
stuff?
role play.
There you go. There.
Oh, she had a skirt too high. She was asking for it, you know? Or she was flirting with me. That kind of thing, you know? Well, no. Again, it's not the victim's fault that she was assaulted. It's not the victim's fault that she was murdered. It's not the victim's way of life, whether she smoked pot, drunk, whatever, that led her to be murdered. It's not the victim's fault, the way that she was dressed or how she was acting, that got her intimately assaulted.
Nope.
No. Guess what? It's the perpetrator's fault. He or she was the one that decided that they were going to commit that violent action against that victim.
Yep.
So why are you guys turning around and saying, oh, no, it's her fault because of her lifestyle and the way she chose to live her life?
That's why it's so outlandish. What I saw, you know, Andy, I got half of it. But yeah, it really makes the Laundries look bad, almost to the point where like this could be a plant against them. But
yeah, well,
that being said, they gotta make a statement, because like this stuff's just piling up, and also
it's too late for that. It's too late.
If there's a murderer on the loose, and I want to ask the panel here. I was thinking of this the other day, and I want to ask the comments as well, people in the comments. If there's a murderer on the loose, have we had an official statement by the authorities informing the public where any updates like, yo, this is where we're kind of at or whatever, take precaution or whatever, because there's a killer on the loose, right? Where have we gotten that kind of press release or you know, has there been any kind of statement by the authorities? Be on the lookout for this and that. Have I missed something? No,
not in that way. No.
But there is a murder. We know she got murdered, right? Per the autopsy report. Shouldn't the police have like a press conference? Yo, we got this victim. It happened here, and you know, this is the area that you should worry about. Something. It's been a month, right?
They're not going to tell us shit. I mean, I don't know. At some point, if they get desperate, maybe. I mean, look, well said. I mean, I don't think they're gonna, because they've kept it all so close to the vest. But regarding this topic, quickly, just keep it back on point. Like, whether these people are real or not, it's an opinion out there, right? That people do have. Like there is this sort of viewpoint in defending the Laundries. So whether it's right or wrong, or if they are accurately there, I could believe that it could be. It also could not be. Let's be fair and obviously call it out for what it is. I don't want to not put my name on these quotes to say that they're legit, but they feel like they could be real. And regardless of whether they're not, there are people in the world who feel this way, right? Who I'm sure about them and sort of their take on defending the Laundries. And I just wanted to put it out there to get the thoughts, because this isn't not a good way to defend Brian. This is the bottom line.
Not a good way.
Real, fake, whatever it is, this is not the way to do it, guys. So anybody out there who's sort of still echoing these words, look, I think there's some point about let's be careful about overly judging. The media does like to portray things certain ways. I agree with all that. Let's be mindful of everyone's mental health and that everyone is going through something, even bad people. It's true. We have to remember everyone's going through something. But this so-called friend, if true, from which everyone's like, that's the worst poncho ever. I don't know. Can we track without harassing or going after this person? Can someone vet or help us to whether we can bunk or debunk? Is this real? Does someone have a closer contact with this person to confirm that yes, they are friends with on Facebook with somebody who would make sense to be there? Connect.
No, this is crazy, bro.
Let me know if anybody has that and hit me up. Go ahead. What were we saying, Lewis?
That's crazy, bro. I mean, look at that headline, bro. Come on. The mom wanted this. It might as well read a mom wanted a Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers to marry daughter. Come on, bro.
Well, then let's find out who this girl is and have her come forward and be like, this isn't real. So I'm sure that's why we want to help, because we always want to debunk when we can. So if anybody knows who this woman is and it's not in fact Brittany Coleman, by all means, please. She had an account that's now private. That's what makes me think it's real. I'll be honest. I think it's real because it could still be fake. But until this woman, the real woman, comes forward and this account still exists, someone could easily, shut that account down for being a fake account. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I'm like still waiting on, which could still happen. So if anybody knows who this woman is, if this isn't the friend, let us know so we can debunk this theory and throw it out there. That all said, there are people who believe that this could be an alternate version of what we're missing. And my attitude is, still not a good enough excuse to justify bashing a woman who's no longer with us. It's not a good look.
Yeah. Real quick, grab her image, dump it on Google Images, and all her stuff will come up.
Someone really?
Do that. Yep.
How do you do? You do it, Lewis.
I have to rip it. Send me the picture.
It's in the chat. I'll put it in the Zoom chat. I didn't know you could do that. Wow, help me out.
Yeah.
There you go. You have it. All right, Lewis will do some investigating while we're live. All right, the next story we need to get into, there is a second topic. Man, this is a doozy. So remember this guy, the guy at the coroner who decided to put a press release out? Well, there's a double whammy here of things he's done. Now, I want to get to this, but before I do, let me also just quickly remember to thank Debbie Jones. Thank you for the super chat. Angel became a member. Boom. Yes! You are now Popcorn Planeteer. Your status is activated. Sorry for the delay, but I want to make sure I caught up. Jessica Constantine, always good to see you, Jessica. How was your Tuesday? Tuesday. I was like, it's not Thursday. Tuesday. I read it wrong. My Tuesday is great. Beautiful weather here in Florida. That's right. Jessica lives right now, but we're having a great day. It's not getting a little cool, but never gets too cool. Love it. Love our weather down here, especially this time of year. Thank you for that, Jessica. Jill Geary, thank you for that. Jessica and others, I may plan a trip down to Northport. If anybody's near there or has access or things to Northport this week, please let me know. I could use some help, especially trying to talk to neighbors or getting other insight of where I should go. But I want to potentially do a members-only stream on Thursday, which I'll provide to you guys first when I arrive or as I get there. So good excuse to now hit that join button so you can get those members-only exclusives as well. I plan to try and do some interviews and just film some feedbacks like I did at the Soto campsite. So stay tuned for all that. And then Friday, if all goes well, if I can pull this together, Steph will assist me so I can go live from the laundry house, Brian Etten style, on Friday's show. How great would that be, Steph? Lewis, right?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
If I could be there in front of the laundry house and be like, guys, I'm here. What should I do? And you guys can literally be there and I can do it. And unlike Brian Etten, I'll be a little bit more, I don't want to be rude or do anything illegal. But if anybody has any ideas or a sign we should post or something, now's your chance. Send over your brainstorms, your thoughts and stuff, because I will, in theory, be going down there. I think I'm going to go there Thursday night after the show, do some retconning, and then talk to you guys exclusively first, and then Friday, if we can pull it off, I just got to figure it, because I know Brian's phone never always works in front of that house. It's my only worry is I'll get down there and I'll have no service. So I'm working on, if anybody knows how to get that, how do we get one of those, live from anywhere boxes? Let me know. If anybody has tips, let me know, but I'm hoping if all goes well, hit the subscribe button and the bell. You won't want to miss it when we go live from the laundry home on Friday. Special event because why not? Right, Steph Lewis? Right? Why not? I should go before it's too late. Let's go so I can see it myself.
Why not? Let's go for it.
Get a feedback, feel on how the neighbors. I'm going to go to the backyard neighbors. I've learned that some of the neighbors have already made deals with certain news agencies, so they're not allowed to talk to other people. But I'm not a news agency. Maybe they can, I'm a YouTuber. Maybe I can get away, get some exclusives. If anybody has any insight, please let me know, because lots more coming. All right, so I just want to make sure I got through everything. Thank you again, Jill, Low Duke. Can you please put a cover spotlight on the double? We got that earlier. We're going to cover the Moab case soon. We got some more chats coming in. I'll read them on a second. I just want to make sure I caught up on all the older ones. Okay, great. More reading in a second. I want to get to this coroner story without burning it too deep. Yeah, real quick, Lewis. What were you going to say?
In regards to the woman with the poncho, that's the Google bots. That's all detecting Caucasian women with ponchos. So we're getting just that. The poncho overtook the search. So I'm trying to crop off her face and stuff. So we're getting Caucasian women with massive, ugly ponchos and stuff. So
all right. Well, that's not much. Yeah. That's not news, sadly.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go. So look, I always thought something was smelly here, Steph Lewis. I got to be honest. This guy, not only did he do, I don't know if he was required to by the Wyoming law, but when he did this piece with that terrible Zoom meeting, something was fishy. But then when he started doing more press interviews with Inside Edition of all places, and that Brian and everybody else, I was like, dude, what are you doing all this for? Why are you doing a press tour? Something was off on this guy. Now, I don't like to cancel anybody. I don't want to like digging up old dirt and everything else. People are allowed to change, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know. People clearly did not like this guy. So because now some dirt has been coming out on this guy, and he was forced to resign from his health provider over personal computer at work. Now, I don't know if this was the real reason, Steph and Lewis, because another story popped open. Apparently, the one who handled the autopsy has a DV arrest for firing a gun at his wife's car. Now, that's a big charge. It's a big charge. And again, when you have like that in your past, usually you don't want to be like the face of like, an important DV survivor autopsy. Do you know what I mean, guys? It's just a weird look to put yourself out there as sort of the guy who's doing a press tour for Gabby's autopsy when you yourself shot and this isn't like hearsay. There's a report. According to an article, coroner Brent Blue was initially denied a concealed carry permit due to a prior DV arrest. An arrest, guys, involving his then wife. News outlet reported in 1999. Now, this is a while ago, but still, he was arrested for shooting a gun at his then wife's car to stop her from driving away. Yikes. This isn't like, allegedly. Like, dude shot a car at his wife's car. Like, what? Jesus Christ. So he was denied this concealed permit. Thank God. And so apparently they tried to like lower the charges later. Reversed in December 9th, this judge reversed the decision. However, the news, Tyler's ruling was confidential, documenting it's unknown to the public why exactly Blue was granted the concealed carry permit later. So there's some shenanigans going on with this guy, and the sheriff and the whole town district was surprise. But early this week, he announced that he did the announcement and et cetera, et cetera. Well, I can't help but suspect that part of the reason for maybe them trying to find a way to fire him might have been this coming to light. I don't even know. This is really not good PR for the guy who was doing PR about an autopsy, which already itself wasn't good PR. Let's be clear. But they fired him because, and I want to read this because this also got me crazy. Let's read this quote. He's been forced to resign because he used his personal computer at work. In a Facebook post, Dr. Brent Blue wrote that he was resigning from St. John's because he had used a personal computer while working at the medical facility. Fortunately, St. John has told me I cannot use my personal computer at work, even though other doctors do. Plus, it's critical for my responsibilities, adding that they essentially forced me to resign effective February 10th due to this prohibition. I am prohibited by contract from saying anything derogatory about the hospital, but you would think with all the recent publicity They would have been honored to be associated with me. Nothing above is derogatory. It's just factual, the Post read. Can you believe this shit? You'd think with all the recent publicity, they'd be honored to work with me. I'm sorry, I don't like this guy. Something always was off about this guy for me. But literally, we should be honored to be associated with him because of all the publicity of Gabby Petito's autopsy. Like, what the F is this, Steph? What the hell is this guy doing? This is such a bad look. I don't get it. This coroner is a weirdo. Why are you trying to be a rock star? Like, you just shouldn't be, given your history. To each their own. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know all sides here, but I know you were arrested for shooting a gun in your wife's car, and that's a bad look. I know you've been trying to do press, constantly reporting on the autopsy of a poor woman, and now you have the audacity to say you should be honored to be associated with him because of all the recent publicity. Steph, Lewis, does this rub you the wrong way like it rubs me?
I think the dude was fired because he was incompetent, man. Did you see that press conference? Jeez, he didn't want to. They were like,
I did.
They're like, dude, that was embarrassing, bro. There was like people walking in the background and stuff. He probably doesn't even know how to press record. That's what I think. Jeez, he was awful. I think Steph.
Steph, I think got froze. She'll be back, I'm sure. Yeah. So this is a weird story, and I don't like to punch down or like drudge up someone's old past, all that stuff. Like, that's not. But this dude asked for it. This dude literally asked for it. I don't understand why he had to do the press conference in the first place. To be perfectly honest, I still don't get it. A lot of people in the case were like, there was no need to put this out there. You could have done it via press release, written to the public. Here it was, done deal. This guy had to do it in front of a Zoom meeting in front of the world because he clearly wanted to become. He's an egomaniac, and he got caught. And so it's so weird because why would an egomaniac want to do that when you have so many skeletons in your closet? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And so to have this come out is just a whole nother separate thing of just like, Jesus, dude, weird. But then for him to have the audacity to say, you should be honored. You should be honored because I performed Gabby's autopsy. And look at all the press that autopsy has gotten us.
No one cares about him.
That is so low. That's like Joseph Morris level low of like, your win is I performed a celebrity autopsy of a dead child who
there's kind
got
of a
me a lot of
resemblance
press.
between. There is a kind of a resemblance between Joseph and him. Listen, your audience though, they caught onto it. They caught onto his smirking during the press conference, which I didn't see it that way. I thought it was just, he was on the spotlight. A little older guy doesn't know what he's doing with the technology, but I guess maybe you guys were right. He was probably smirking at the event, at the situation, kind of,